Hello and welcome back to the Energy Connect studio at Gastech 2025. I'm Rebecca McLaughlin-Easton and you join me for a special conversation with Maurits van Tol of Johnson Matthey. Maurits, it's great to see you. Thank you for speaking to me today.
It's a pleasure.
Maurits, let me start by asking you about the importance of cross-sector partnerships, because you believe they're an imperative for companies looking to lead through the energy transition. You have a lot of experience in this. Your company's 208 years old. How's business within your division?
The business is really good. It's Catalyst Technologies is the business that I'm responsible for. And it is 1,900 very enthusiastic and clever people that really want to contribute to the growth of the production of chemicals and fuels and synthetic aviation fuel from alternative raw materials next to the entire portfolio that we have, where we convert coal, oil and gas into the molecules that our customers want using our technologies.
Tell me, why are cross-sector partnerships a strategic imperative for companies looking to lead in the energy transition?
So when you look at the energy transition, it's massive. The oil and gas industry has developed over, 100 to 125 years? And it is huge industry, super efficient. I mean, at very large scale, they know how to develop and build large facilities. They just know how to do it because they are trained so well over many generations. And here comes the sustainable technologies industry. It's relatively new. We can build on a lot of experience from the past and clever combination of unit operations that we know, but still there is so much new, not only on the technology side, but in particular about the whole demand-supply balance, mandates, contracts for difference, the whole political arena as well. There's so much in flux that it's more risky than scaling up further the oil and gas business, because that is what we know how to do. There's many new elements here, and it is so much better if you tackle those risks and share them among partnerships. And that is what we do. So if you would like to have an example,
yes.
For example, in the sustainable aviation fuel space, we have now teamed up with Jadara, ourselves, Honeywell, and Samsung E&A. And why is that important to our customers? First of all, they have alternative feedstock. They have biomass, municipal solid waste, CO2, and they want to convert that into syngas, because that is where we come in, this mixture of CO and hydrogen from which we can make methanol and what have you. So the syngas needs to be made from this. Let's take biomass as an example. You need to gasify it. Gasification is a unit operation that we don't know so much about. Jadara are absolute top experts with the fantastic pilot facilities and a long history. So let's team up, right? That's de-risking. Then we have the Fischer-Tropsch, the syngas and Fischer-Tropsch technology, FT cans that we bring in, because we're really good at syngas. We're the leaders in syngas around the world. So we can then convert the syngas into alkanes, into hydrocarbons, synthetic, sustainable hydrocarbons. These hydrocarbons are not a drop-in for jet fuel yet. You need to crack them. And that's where Honeywell UOP comes in. They have this uni-cracking technology, so they can crack those molecules that they fulfill the requirements of the end industry. It is the airline industry. And then someone needs to build the plants, right? None of the three of us do that, but Samsung E&A comes in and say, I'll wrap the whole thing and I'll build the plant for the customers. So when we team up this way and we go to the customer, to the prospect, that we remove this technology and building risk. We take it off the table. We say, we guarantee that when you work with us and you switch on your new facility, after cutting the red ribbon, it works. And that's what we warrant. So we de-risk the endeavor, and that brings down the interest rates they need to pay on loans, and bring insurance companies if they want. People are attracted to these large facilities that have bankability and the lowest possible risk. So we take away quite a significant part of the risk.
You paint quite the picture. It sounds like poetry in motion, but I don't imagine that partnerships of the kind that you describe are without their challenges. So how do you build them? How do you maintain them? And what innovations and breakthroughs can spring from them?
Yeah, so of course the challenges are very early on. You need to have a discussion. What do all four of those partners get out of it? And be very open and honest with each other. Otherwise, you spend a lot of energy and time and it's just not going to work. So it's really important that you do the front-end loading, as I always say, really, really well. Spend critical time together, sitting together, also learning about each other's cultures. Because if there's a huge cultural misfit, no matter how hard you work, it's going to be very, very difficult.
Has that happened often in your experience?
In particular, on the cultural side, not too much.
It'd be a tough one to overcome, I imagine.
That because you sense it very early.
Yes.
Because you start with the discussion, hey, what do you want to get out of it? And if that is already like, yeah, I can't reveal and that's secret, then you know that's the wrong start. You need to feel comfortable with your potential partners, that you share a lot, because otherwise it just doesn't work. So that is really very important. And the other element is that culture is important, because going further down, you start to share very confidential intellectual property.
Yes.
Because we want to integrate the Jadara technology, our technology, the Honeywell UOP technology, share that with Samsung so they can make a good offer. You need to share an awful lot of core intellectual property and a lot of trade secrets. So if you don't trust each other, you feel this is going to be hard, don't do it, it's not going to work. Because you need to share. And why do you need to share? And then I come to one of these benefits. If you share this confidential information, you can sit together, all the engineers, and start to integrate your offer. And that becomes then a lot cheaper offering, because there are interfaces at which you can innovate. How can I integrate these unit operations in a better way, in a smarter way, to make it more cheaper to build, energy efficient, whatever it is. And it all adds up. And again, that is then a better offer to the customer, and again contributes to the bankability of the final overall proposal that they have.
Yes.
Yeah.
How do you believe that these partnerships, these collaborations can exert a certain pressure, not least when it comes to policy and regulation or infrastructure or even market conditions?
If you have reputable companies working together, also the people around it see that they must be serious, because these are serious companies that work together with a long history and you know, are really reliable. So that is also attractive. If then the customer needs to have access to a pipeline or whatever they need, or they want to go to a DOE or somewhere else for grant funding or whatever, they bring in all these reputable companies. There's a list with very reputable names, and it just helps the credibility of such an endeavor, and it can greatly accelerate access to your pipelines or to funding, whatever you need.
Lastly, what do you expect to be the biggest fields of application for low-carbon ammonia in the future?
Low-carbon ammonia is very versatile. Ammonia is a wonderful molecule, actually like methanol as well, because we use them at large quantities around the world. Ammonia, of course, everybody thinks about fertilizers, but also in polymers, and there's many things you can do with ammonia. But now you can also use it as a fuel, as a kind of a low-carbon fuel, and that's why the shipping industry is looking at it. But in particular, cogeneration, it's going to be very, very important, because ammonia is a kind of a hydrogen vector. So you can produce the blue or green or whatever color of low carbon ammonia in countries with a lot of sunshine or a lot of natural gas, and you ship them to countries like Japan or Korea, who can then use it as a fuel in cogeneration. And by converting the hydrogen at the port of origin, at the place of origin, into ammonia, it's much easier to ship. And we can store it all around the world, because like methanol, there are storage facilities. We know how to handle ammonia. So it can give a quick access to a low carbon fuel, so to speak. So there's many ways that ammonia can be used.
Lastly, how has your experience been on the ground at Gastech? Sum it up for me.
At Gastech, it's super efficient. It's
And
super efficient because everyone's here.
Yes.
So you fill your day and night with all these meetings that otherwise you need to fly in or do on Teams, which is very impersonal. This is so much nicer.
We have to leave our conversation there, but thank you so much for talking to me today.
It was a great pleasure. Thank you.
My thanks to Maurits van Tol of Johnson Matthey for that important conversation about strategic partnerships and the global industry. Join me again next time for more interviews on energyconnects.com, LinkedIn and social media. I'll see you soon.